Okay, so we already started to work on chokes in the last module, but in this whole module, we are all about chokes because I want to teach you quite a unique idea about dealing with chokes, something that you typically don't see, and something that we've kind of pioneered based on a mix of things that we've seen. So the first thing we're going to do is we've already looked at the idea of being choked from the front. And remember, when people choke you, you're not being choked by a zombie. Right? So oftentimes you see this stuff, but someone who's choking is usually going to be real close. They're real close. And you may even be pinned to a wall, pinned to a wall where it gets a little bit more challenging, okay? So we're going to look at that in this class. So the first thing we did is we looked at the front choke and we looked at plucking and it's very important to remember this is only the beginning. Now you must go on the attack. But now what we're going to do is going to look at maybe being choked from behind. And someone's choking me from behind. And I could find myself being choked from behind on a wall as well. So I'm just going to stay back here so you can see. So what we're going to do when it choked from behind, what we're going to do is we're going to step off and pluck and slap to the groin. So basically what we do is we step off, look, bam, elbow comes up and kick that knee. Okay? Okay?
Yes.
Okay? So we step off, pluck, slap to the groin, elbow, stomp that knee, break that knee. Okay, so let's break that down again. So, choke is on, step off, hands come behind. Look what we're gonna do, we're plucking from here, attacking the groin. From here, boom, that elbow comes up. We step off, stomp that knee as we escape. An alternative to this is to simply pluck, slap, and boom, and engage. So it very much depends on how you fall and where your weight is. But we're going to work with the kick because we want to add in that skill element for you. Okay? So we step off, pluck, slap, elbow, step, kick. So the very first thing we're going to do, step off at an angle, and then we're going to pluck. Choke is on behind. We're stepping off at an angle. That's just to give us to change our position. We don't want to step back into them. So we step off at an angle. As we step off at an angle, our hands come up and we're going to pluck. And then from here, we're going to slap to the groin. And then we're going to let the elbow drive up. We step away as if we're running away and we stomp onto that leg and give it a boost for us to escape. Okay, so let's go one more time. Step off at an angle, pluck, slap, elbow, step, and stomp on that leg. Okay, 10 times each, go. Okay, so now we are going to step off, pluck, hit the groin, and then simply what you do is you trail that elbow up the body. So you step, pluck, slap, bring that elbow up. Step up, pluck, slap, bring that elbow up. Let's go. So now we basically going to pluck, slap to the groin, elbow comes up, stepping away. And from here, we're just going to stomp that knee. Hyperextend that leg breaker. So we step up, pluck, slap, elbow. I give myself a bit of room here. And then bam, as I escape. So let's go. Just stomping down on that knee. Go. So we've looked at the choke from the front. Pluck, a break. We've looked at the choke from behind. Pluck and elbow attack. Now we're going to look at being choked from the side. The side. So here. So anyone give me any ideas at this point?
Elbow to hook and hip.
Hook. Like if you think about it, it's not much different from the front choke. It's not much different from the back choke. So the big idea, we're going to let you into a secret. There is only one move for breaking out of a choke. It's called the pluck. It doesn't actually matter which angle. The most important thing is you pluck. So from here, we're going to pluck and hit the groin. Doesn't really matter exactly. So the choke is on. I'm going to pluck and step off a bit. At the same time, this hand is going to come in, boom, hit the groin. And then this elbow is going to come up, and then I can move with my palms and knees, okay? So let's go again. So it's pluck, pluck and slap, pluck and slap, and elbow, and then drive in. Very similar to the move we've done already. So the big idea I want you to understand from here is that breaking and choke, if you want to complicate the world, you'll see it as different moves. But we actually see it as one move. The choke comes on, I'm going to pluck. The choke comes on the side, I'm going to pluck. The choke comes off from behind, I'm going to pluck. The big thing is, the only real difference is your relative angle. And the relative angle is going to dictate your strikes. So if it's front on, it's just going to be a palm strike, straight, it's easy. So if it's front on, it's easy. Just pluck and strike. If it's side on, it's pluck. And again, the right attack here is the groin, but you could also pluck off and kick to the leg. So what I want you to do now is just to do all the chokes, front, side, and back. But what I want you to do is to integrate your thinking. Do not think about them as individual chokes. Think about them as chokes and focus on the pluck. And really, I don't mind how you hit them. I've just given you ideas of optimal striking strategies. But as long as you're hitting them, I'm happy. So pluck and hit. Pluck and hit. Bring the one idea to choking to pluck and hit. Go. There's one more complication around chokes. So we've been looking at breaking chokes when we actually have the space to get in and pluck. But you can find yourself choked and basically with a pin to the wall, get right in there, and you pin my hips as well. So you basically realize, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna need to come up with something a bit nastier, okay? So so what I actually did here, just to demonstrate this, what I actually did is I brought my fingers up. And I worked my fingers up and I got them in here into his jugular notch. So the idea here is I'm pinned to the wall, really pinned, and I basically, I have no energy. I work my fingers up and I get them in here and then I drive him off. Now I may not go as far as John's had this done to him before, so he knows what to expect, so he's kind of jumping away, but all this might do is get you enough space to allow you attack the face with your, the eyes or with palm strikes, okay? But what it is very, very good at doing is getting you space. So just to demonstrate it here, so what we're gonna do, so this is the jugular notch. So how you find this is, you slap on the thing and you drive in down. And you drive down, so it's here. So everybody just take their fingers and put it in here. It's where you want to gag, that's where you know you have it. Okay, so you take, and what's important is you don't go back, you take all of your fingers and you dig them all the way down. So they want to go back off you, okay? So, if I can reach and he's holding on me 2 pin, I can get to the eyes, that's fantastic, totally. But if I can't, at least all you can do is work your fingers in here and that gets him back. Now that gives you a chance to strike, use knees, okay? Okay, let's go. Come on, let's go. All right, so let's round this off. You're gonna move around your partner and you're gonna put all the chokes on. You're gonna do the chokes sometimes arrange, but you're also gonna get in there and get close. You can do them from here, arrange, but also get in there and get close. Make them work different ranges here, and then also work those chokes against the wall. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do one more drill. So you're going to go into groups of 3. And there's going to be one guy in the middle. And what you're going to do, the 2 of you please, you're both going to move around him and you're both going to be just putting chokes on him. Okay, choke, break, and faster, faster. Much faster. Come on, John, much faster. Come on, don't wait. It needs to be faster, guys. There should be no pace. Come on, move it faster. Be ready for him. Don't give him a second. There's no time. There should be right here, Dave. Come on, faster. Just keep choking him. Keep choking faster. Come in here, Craig. All 3 of you so. We're not fast enough. Come on, just break the chokes. break the chokes, break the chokes. Keep choking, Dave. Yeah. Come on, choke, break the choke, break the choke. Okay, so this is the drill I want. The idea of this drill is to get them constantly moving faster about breaking the choke. So this drill is 2 people surrounding a guy, constantly choking. Faster! Come on, really work them, people. Okay. Okay, final drill. Have a kick shield, please. Final drill. Kick shield. At this point, you know the drill. Your job is to beat the living daylights out of the pad, palms, elbows, and knees. The other guy's job is to save the pad, putting all the techniques on now. Headlocks, the grabs, the chokes, everything. Really working them. Okay, go, go. Much more aggressive, John. Come on, come on. Much more aggressive. So one of the things you'll start to see in some of these drills is you get quite tired. Have you noticed that? You get aggressive. And you'll also start to see that techniques don't always go as clean as you'd like. And that is a big mistake most people make, is they think the techniques to be clean. When you're out there and you're tired and you're sweating and you're exhausted and you're afraid, like, you really need your techniques to be simple, and that's one of the reasons why we made a big deal about chokes in this module. Because chokes are very, very serious. If somebody actually is choking you, they're trying to kill you. Okay, so plucking and not getting too caught up in exactly what choke is on is very important. So the idea is emphasizing the plucking, but no matter what. So we totally focused on this one module, all about that, mainly just to get across that idea of plucking the choke. You should not have too many techniques for breaking out of a choke, because it's too dangerous. And if you have too many techniques, your brain takes too long to process the stuff. Okay, there's a law called Hicks' law, and what Hicks' law says, that if you, after more than 3 possible solutions to a problem, your reaction time increases, i.e. your performance decreases exponentially with each extra option you have. So you can know too much. So to break a choke, you pluck a choke, and most importantly, you go on the attack. And if you get too close, you're going to use your fingers, get in there, the jugular notch, to push them back, make space, so you can blast them away and escape. Okay, well done on finishing this module.